Guys, happy Wednesday. I just wanted to share with you guys my secret YouTube feed. I thought it would be interesting to show you what YouTube is shoving in my face. Now, first of all, give you a little bit of perspective and a little bit of background because I'm sure that my setup is a little bit different than many of you guys. Um, my YouTube setup is, in terms of from a subscription standpoint, very bipartisan. I am subscribed to so many channels, left and right. Now, the order at which these are shown up here, I'm not sure what the logic is there. It looks like it might be alphabetic, so because I see some numbers, then there's like A's, so ABC, ABC, then Actual Justice Warrior. So I guess this is alphabetized, so there's no logic beyond whatever the first character is of these channels in terms of the order that they're shown. But just give you a brief like snapshot of channels I'm subscribed to. So you got local news, ABC News, so two of their channels. Actual Justice Warrior, Adam something. There's AOC's channel. There's one of those well, I haven't watched them. I haven't a First Amendment. I'm an auditor. I've watched one of their channels. It's so long, I forgot the name of it. That's the guy I'm against and whatever. Then there's Angel there. You got this clown Anthony. I don't remember all the names of all these channels, but anyway, I'll just scroll through. AP, Bad Faith, BBC. There's Ben Shapiro, Black Conservative. There's Blaze TV, Blue Moon. What's up, Blue Moon? Almost had Breaking Bad, Breaking Points, Brian Tyler Cohen. So I'm not gonna read every single one because there's a ton of them, but you can just see as I'm scrolling through. These are the channels I'm subscribed to. They're all over the map. From far left to center and all the way over to far right channels. I have some pretty extreme fringe channels in here. They're the minority, but I'm pretty much subscribed to everyone. Now that being said, all right, that being said, so seeing who I'm subscribed to, a lot of representation on the right, a lot of representation on the left. So what does YouTube choose from this subscription list to push the Ben Shapiro? Wow, nice. You saw that Ben Shapiro notification came in, right? YouTube is not holding back on notifying me about Ben Shapiro's videos, right? That's all these lies we've been listening to about how conservatives are being targeted and all this kind of nonsense. This is a liberal platform, supposedly, right? And, with all this talk about censorship and whatever, these guys are getting tons of views. They're dominating. They're blowing away left-wing channels. So, yet again, we see in this country, an alternate reality is created. We have a city built on fire, but yet we have millions of people who believe it's a city of ice, right? Because a bunch of people walk around saying, ice, this is an ice city, this great ice city, this side. I mean, we're all like melting. We can smell the smoke, we can feel the heat, but they keep just saying, ice city, yes, today in ice city. And then there are people that are just walking around repeating this. And that's the reality. So conservatives are under attack and they're being suppressed, while at the same time they're somehow benefiting from dominating with traffic and also not being hit as hard as a lot of these left-wing channels. I mean, again, I keep calling back to people talk about he's got attorneys or whatever, as if people on the left don't have attorneys. But Steven Crowder, he's able to do things that normal YouTubers can't do and get away with it. He gets a little artificial slap on the wrist every once in a while for optics, so they could pretend as if they're not giving him special treatment. But the reality is, he's able to do stuff. I would never be able to do the videos that Steven Crowder does. My channel will be shut down. That being said, let me see who this is. You can wait. Anyway, so this is who's pushing to me. So I hardly watch Roland Martin. So this is kind of a, I don't know what you'd consider him. I guess a liberal type of guy, I guess. Centrist, something like that. I hardly watch his content. His video is top of the list. PBS newsletter. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of their stuff. I've watched recently some of their stuff because of the hearings, so maybe that's why that's there. You got Mr. Wet Ass P Word guy. So all this Daily Wire stuff back to back. Daily Wire, Daily Wire, Daily Wire. Like, that's what I'm getting. So these are the stories that are being sent to me. Turning Point is there. CBS is there. TV, Now This News. Now we get AP. I couldn't tell the last time I watched an AP video. We got, looks like a local news station. Something about storms. We got Revolutionary Blackout. I do enjoy their content, although I haven't watched a lot of their content recently. But there they are, top of the list. There's CNN, not too far from the top. There's NBC News. I haven't watched any NBC News videos much lately. Maybe they were, because I don't really care who's showing the hearing, so I might have ended up watching their live stream of January 6 hearings, possibly. Not sure on that one, but generally I haven't been watching a lot of NBC videos. And there is wet ass P word, Ben Shapiro. Now we have CBS News, Philadelphia Police Union investigate unsolved murders, whatever. There's Blaze TV. So, conservative media, and I haven't been watching a lot of Ben Shapiro lately, right? But there he is, not being suppressed. He's not blacklisted. There's Blaze TV. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched Blaze TV. I haven't watched Blaze TV in quite some time. But yet there they are, right? We're told that, conservative media is being suppressed, right? They're under attack and they're trying to silence them and all this kind of victim talk, right? That's the tactic of always like a victim. You'll be a billionaire driving a car with diamond studded everything and then you'll be crying about how you're being suppressed and things are so hard for you and it's just unfair, right? That's the mentality. Literal billionaire could be sitting around complaining about how difficult, and actually that's what Trump did. I wasn't thinking about Trump, but there's an example. He was a little billionaire that was walking around crying and complaining like a little girl about how tough things were and people were being tough on him. Like, come on, guy. So News Nation, another news, they seem to be pretty decent. They seem to have a little bit of a right-leaning flair. Newsmax, I don't watch a ton of Newsmax videos, but there's Newsmax. Again, conservative media being suppressed, right? Channels that I don't watch a lot that are right-leaning are right up in my feed, right? But we're supposed to believe that they're being suppressed. So Progressive Voice, I hardly watch him. He's there. There's Now This News. There's Reuters. There's New York AG. There's Mr. Majority Report. So I do watch, I don't watch a ton of his videos, but I regularly check in here and there depending on what he's talking about, things that I might want to comment on. And again, remember, with my channel, one of the big things I do is critique the media, so I need to watch all these guys to see what they're up to, try to establish different tactics and strategies that they utilize, patterns of behavior, things like that. So I do need to watch these guys. I will say, if you notice some of these right-wing channels that are showing up that I said I don't watch, it's becoming really increasingly difficult for me to watch these right-wing guys. They just, I find it to be so disgusting. And just I look at these guys as really savages, right? They really don't care about the impact that their content has on this country. They're so disingenuous. It's just, I find it really, really sickening. Now, I see a lot of dishonest stuff in left-wing media as well, but the right-wing media just takes it to an entirely different level. You can take from that what you will, but even for me to watch their content, to critique it, I find it to be very, very challenging. It's just, I don't know, for lack of a better word, it's grotesque. It's really, really, I'm not really the kind of person to typically be kind of emotional, and I've been very sort of let's say robotic in these things. I mean, I had someone comment, I don't know how you can tolerate like looking at the stuff you look at, because I look at like white supremacist stuff, and I pointed out that these things don't really bother me, right? And that's typically how it's been, but after a while of watching this stuff, it's just, yeah. I mean, certain left-wing channels will have that, but across the board, conservative media is just really getting to the point of sickening. Um, Again, it's content for me, right? If they're being sickening, then that's great content for me to call. Look at how he's dishonest or whatever. But it's so sickening. It's not even. It's not even. It's difficult for me to find the energy and ability to consume it, to be able to critique it in the first place. Think about that, right? The content is bothersome enough to me, that I'm not even willing to watch it to call it out, which is one of the fundamental things that I do on my channel. Think about what that says for a second. I know certain folks will think it's because they're telling me uncomfortable truths or something like that. No, it's not. Like, for example, something that will bother me is I'll turn on like a Ben Shapiro video, and he will be making a video calling out about how like left-wing media is suppressing something and they're not being honest, which is what he does. And that really bothers me, that he's so disingenuous to his audience. He's manipulating his audience and painting a false reality, an alternate reality, where it's left-wing media that's the problem, right? As if he's not part of the very stuff he's talking. Like that really bothers me when I see people who are you're doing like, you're super partisan and putting people in echo chambers, and then you go on YouTube and you say, oh, look at this partisan whatever, and these guys are activists, they're not really. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? This guy's literally going into like high schools, essentially trying to radicalize, indoctrinate, whatever the word you want to use, young people. That's what you do, right? You target people when they're young and impressionable, and try to press on them your ideas. Now, of course, certain folks will say, well, the left, that's what they do, so this is the counter. You can call it what you want, but the reality is that's essentially what they're doing, right? They're going into these schools trying to push on these young people their ideology, right? I don't see socialists doing that, going into schools and try to get people to get on board with socialism, get them while they're young, right? Change my mind. Like, I don't see that activity. I don't see there's a socialist organization, right, with chapters all over the country. That's conservative media that's doing that level of activism, right? So Lincoln Project, I hardly watch. There they are. There's CNN. There's this clown, Christo Avalos. The Trump channel, all he does is talk about Trump all day. There's BBC. So we see channels that I don't watch a lot. And I think that's the thing that's interesting. I do watch a lot of Hill, but look how far down they are. 2 Hill videos. So I find it interesting the way that my feed is populated. It doesn't seem to reflect the things that I watch. And I realize I subscribe to a ton of channels, and maybe there's some difficulty there, but I would think and expect that since this thing is so like smart and looking at your behaviors and stuff like that, that channels that I watch the most would be more, I'd be getting more notifications for. But many channels that I watch a lot, I don't tend to get all the notifications. I know my subscribers, even really loyal subscribers that watch everything as best they can, keep telling me they don't get notifications. So it's all over the place. But to focus on ideology, that it's like suppressing liberals or it's suppressing conservatives or whatever it is ridiculous. I think the platform is just broken. And ultimately, I think what YouTube cares about is money and views and traffic. They don't care about your ideology. They don't care about you're exposing the truth and you're exposing the establishment, right? If that was the case, then Jackson Hinkle's channel would have been banned a long time ago, and he would have never gotten to the size that he is. He would have never gotten to the amount of like views that he's getting, right? I mean, look at how he's going out there, going hugely and aggressively against the mainstream narrative, right? Super aggressive. And he's getting so much traction, so many live viewers. how on earth would that be happening if this is a platform that's all about suppression and oh, we don't want you to expose the establishment and all these kind of ridiculous conspiracy theories, right? But yet you have these channels that are really, really successful, that are pushing out these narratives that go against the mainstream, right? Look at even Jimmy Dore. How many Jimmy Dore videos has he done about the COVID this, and they're just trying to this, and this vaccine, I don't know if it really works, or whatever stuff he's talking about. Yet he was able to make his whole channel basically a COVID channel, right? Going against the mainstream narrative. Why didn't he get suppressed? Why isn't Steven Crowder getting suppressed? Why isn't Ben Shapiro getting suppressed? Right? Why isn't Jackson Hinkle getting suppressed? Right? Why is it that people who make content that is highly engaging to their audience seem to be okay, but someone like me who doesn't feed into pandering to their audience, I'm going to pander to the left or pander to the right, somehow I'm the one getting scrutinized, right? I will support a mainstream narrative and get suppressed for or accused of doing the opposite, right? And then when I complain about it and I try to do an appeal, I get rejected. Right? Somehow it seems that what YouTube cares about is how much traffic and therefore money you can bring in their pockets. It doesn't seem they really care about your politics. But on top of that, they also seem to be very broken for many reasons, as evidenced by my feed, right? I wouldn't say that the what it's showing me is the most, I don't know. I mean, it can't be that these are the ones that are the most engaging, because the focus is on money and traffic. Look at who's at the top of the list. This guy has 133 views. His channel is pretty decent size. Well, it's only a minute ago, I guess. Wow, so did this come up while I'm doing this video? Maybe that's an old, that was old. So he's got 15 people watching with a decent sized channel. Yet again, you saw I refreshed and he's back on the top of the list. Roland Martin. I hardly watch this guy. Why is he there? 15 people watching. Why is he there? So he's a lot of his subscribers are not seeing his videos, right? If he's only got 15 people watching, but yet it's in my feed. You see what I'm saying? Like, some of this stuff don't make any sense. It's definitely not ideological, right? But there's some funky stuff going on. But some of this clearly is just evidence of being broken, right? This is just evidence of being broken. And there's Ben Shapiro, right? Suppressing conservatives, top of the list. What is a woman? What is a woman? What is a woman? This woman, I can tell you the last time I watched her video. She's got 9 people watching. Look how high up in my feed she is. What is the logic of that? If I hardly watch her video, and she's probably in a circle of certain types of channels, like YouTube sort of categorizes you. I probably don't watch a lot of the channels that are linked or associated with her, and I don't watch her videos. She's only got 9 watches, so she's not a big channel. Why is she so high up in my feed? Why is she higher in my feed than channels that I do watch a lot? Whether it's right-leaning or left-leaning channels, right? When's the last time I watched a 9 News video? Why are they there? What is the logic of this? Right? It's not ideological, right? There isn't a pattern of like, I'm getting more right or I'm getting more left. It seems almost random. Anyway, tell me your thoughts. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.